uses Yawan. This name is derived from, the name Javan is derived from Genesis chapter 10, verse 2. So let's go to Genesis chapter 10, verse 2, and see how it all started off, where Greece, how Greece, I should say, started off. Guys online, Genesis chapter 10, verse 2.
The sons of Japheth, Gomer and Medad, and Madai, and Javan, and Tubal, and
Meshach,
and
Tiras. So you see where Javan is the son of whom? Japheth, right? Japheth is the son of whom?
Gomer and
No. Japheth is the son of who? Noah. Thank you. Noah had 3 boys, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. So Japheth is Javan's dad. Javan's grandfather is Noah. So we're going back as far as when it began, because literally this is the post-flood. This is the post-flood of the human nature. Human nature is after post-flood, or humanity, I should say, humanity after the flood. Post-flood humanity. There was pre-flood humanity, which was all gone. So Adam and everybody else is gone. Antediluvian world has been passed. The only one that came through the antediluvian world into the new world, or the post-flood world, is Noah. So Noah begins the post-flood humanity. Everybody get that online? Nod your head. Noah begins the post-flood, or the humanity of the post-flood, the humanity after the flood. All right. So when you hear Japheth, or the sons of Ham, or the sons of Shem, that's humanity after the flood. So yes, Japheth, the father of Javan, is Javan, who is now the progenitor of the Greek race, which inhabited not only Greece, but the islands related to it, and hence is properly transgraded by Grecian, where it occurred. So basically, Javan is the father of the Greek race. Okay? So when you go back to historical data of where people come from, we have to start off with the sons of Noah and their sons. So that way it makes sense as to where it all began. Like we found out 2 weeks ago that who's the father of Babylon? Did she just do that? Did you just say not Nimrod?
Sorry, confusion.
Yes, his name is Nimrod.
Yes.
I hope he wasn't going to say Confucius. His name is Nimrod. So we found out that he is the father of Babylon. He is the one that created Babel. God named it, but he started it. Right? Okay. So we have to always go back to that time, post-flood, right after the flood was done, where these people come from. Okay? All right. So let's go to Isaiah chapter 66, verse 19. Somebody find that. Some of us can find Ezekiel chapter 27, verse 13 and 19. Someone else please find Daniel chapter 8, verse 21. Daniel chapter 8, verse 21. Then Daniel chapter 10, verse 20. Then Daniel chapter 11, verse 2. Well, we're going to get Daniel chapter 8 and just stay there. Joel chapter 3, verse 6. and Zechariah 9, verse 13. Isaiah 66:19. Larry, can you find that for us, please?
Daniel 8:21.
Daniel 8:21. And if you find Daniel, if you're in Daniel, just stay there because we're going to go to chapter 10, verse 20, and chapter 11, verse 2. So just stay there if you're in Daniel right now. Someone else can find Isaiah 66, verse 19. And then someone else find Ezekiel 27, verse 13. Let's go to Isaiah 66, verse 19.
And set a sign among them, and I will send those that escape of them into the nations. Tarshish, Pul, and Lud that draw above, to Tubal and Yaman, to the isles afar off that have not heard my fame, neither have seen my glory, and they shall declare my glory among the Gentiles.
All right, so basically what God is saying, these are places. All right? Let's go back and look at it again. I will set a sign among them, I will send those that escape of them unto the nations. These are nations, these are cities, these are governments. Tarshish, who tried to go to Tarshish?
No, the guy, the Jonah.
Jonah. Okay. So if Tarshish is there, we know that Tarshish is a what? It was a city, it was a country. Right? It was a country. Pul was a country. Lud was a country. That draw the bow to Tubal. Tubal was a country. And Javan. And because now, remember, if you look at this, if you look at the third bullet here, it says that Javan was a progenitor of Greek race, which inhabited not only Greece, but the what? The islands. So the Bible also spoke about, and Javan, to the where? To the isles, which are islands afar off, that has not heard of my what? My fame. Neither have seen my glory, and shall declare my glory among the Gentiles. So the Greeks were also known as the what? The Gentiles. Remember, Paul says you are what? Not a Jew, Greek, or Gentile. Or they were all what? Start mingling together and mixing together because this is during Paul's time. Right? Okay. So, let's go to Ezekiel 27, verse 13. Ezekiel 27, verse 13.
Navan, Tubal, Meshach, they were merchants. They traded the persons of men.
All right, so Javan, Tubal, Meshach, they were merchants, right? Basically, those are places that people would go and do what? Buy. Okay, shop, buy. They traded the what? So what they were doing? Slavery. There you go. So they were doing slave trade. Right. And vessels of what?
Brass.
Oh. So what was the color of what? Of Greece? Brass. Legs and thighs of what? Brass is bronze. So is the Bible clear? This is in Ezekiel, and Daniel saw the vision of what? The legs and thighs of what? Brass. Okay? So here it is. The Bible is pretty clear. So we understand that Javan is now whom? Javan is really Greeks. Javan, Tubal, and Meshach, they were like merchants. They traded persons of men, or they did slave trading, and the vessels of what? Brass was in thy market. So now we have an understanding what Greece was doing, these other times, other countries were doing. All right, let's go to Daniel chapter 8, verse, let me get to, before we go there, verse 19. Yes.
Then also, one going to and fro occupied in the fair, bring iron, cassia, and Alamus were in thy market.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. All right. So you have Dan also and Javon. Dan is also Dan was a part of Israel. Dan was one of the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, so Dan also and Javon going to and fro occupied in thy theaters. Occupy themselves in your daily life or your politics, right? The word theaters. And they did Bright Iron, Kassiah, and Calamus were in their market. Okay, so these guys were doing what? They were selling. There's a place to go and shop. Like going to Dubai or go to New York. When you go to New York, what you want to do? Shop. Okay, so that just tells you, that it was a place. You didn't shop last week, Mom? Daniel chapter 8, verse 21, Larry. Daniel 8:21, Larry. Larry, you're on mute. Can't hear you. You're talking to me. Okay. Dad, read it, Ty. Daniel chapter 8, verse 21.
And the rough goat is the king of Risha, and the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king.
Okay, so now we're starting to get, it went away from Javon and it went to what? The word Grecia. Not Greece, but Grecia. Okay? All right. So the rough goat is the king of what? Who is the king of Grecia? Who's the one king? There you go. There you go. All right. The rough goat is the king of Grecia. So Alexander the Great was that rough goat. And the great horn between his eyes, he is the first king. So there was only one horn on that goat. And he was the first king of Greece. First king of Greece. Let's go to Daniel 10, verse 20. Daniel 10, verse 20.
Then said he, knowest thou wherefore I come unto thee? And now will I return to fight with the prince of Persia. And when I am gone forth, lo, the prince of Persia shall come.
All right, so this is Daniel chapter 10 Daniel 10 is a very, I would say it's a very unique and peculiar chapter. The reason is, at this point, Daniel had a dream, he had that vision, and he didn't understand the vision. For months and for days and for days and for weeks and for weeks and for months, he was asking people to help him with his dream. At this point, he was getting sick. He wasn't eating. He wasn't doing anything. And by the time verse 13 comes around, or I should say verse 12, let's go to verse 12. You'll see why he could not get the answer to his dream. Verse 12 says, Then he said unto me, Fear not, O Daniel, for from the first day that thou didst set in thine heart to understand and to chasten thyself before thy God, thy words were heard. I am come for thy words. This is Gabriel telling him, I am coming here to now explain to you what your thoughts are, what you've been asking, right? But now Gabriel's going to explain to him why he has been late. Verse 13, but the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days. But lo, Michael, one of the chief princes came to help me, and I remained there with the king of Persia. Now I am come, verse 14, to make you understand what shall befall thy people in the latter days. For yet the vision is for many days. So Gabriel is telling him that the prince of Persia beheld him. Gabriel was telling him that the prince of Persia withstood him 21 days. Who is the prince of Persia?
Michael.
Larry, who's the prince of Persia?
Michael came to help Michael.
Ruel, who's the prince of Persia? You on mute, Ruel, you on mute. Take yourself off of mute.
Lucifer is the prince of Persia.
There you go.
Well, I'm sorry. Correction. It's actually Satan. It's not Lucifer.
Well, that's right. Satan is the prince of Persia. Okay? Satan is the prince of Persia. There's only one prince of Persia that can withstand or withhold Gabriel for 21 days, and Michael, the archangel, has to come and help him out. So in this case, but look, don't just leave it alone. Persia and the Medes and the Persians were an empire, right? Remember who is the one that is leading these types of kingdoms. Okay? Right. Satan is the one in the back end. He's the one in the back end who is leading these empires, these kingdoms. He's the one that's in the back end controlling the system. Right? So when Gabriel says the prince of Persia will still be 21 days, he's talking about Satan himself, because Gabriel is a what? An angel is a what? A messenger. And his job is to deliver a what? A message to whom? Daniel. So at this point, there's a message that needs to go to Daniel, and the devil is stopping Gabriel from getting that message to Daniel. Because now Daniel is there stuck. He has this dream, but he doesn't understand it. The one person who gives him the understanding of that dream has been Gabriel. He's been held up. Gabriel has been the one from the time Daniel's been having these dreams. Gabriel has been the guy. He comes down, he talks straight to Daniel. Now, the thing about Gabriel, what makes him so special, is that guess whose place he took? He took Lucifer's place. So now there's a little bit of an issue here, right? So now he took Lucifer's place. Here he is. He's that leading angel to go tell Daniel the message. Okay, God did not appoint anyone else to go talk to Daniel but Gabriel, right? So now Gabriel's telling him, Lucifer, Satan help me up. The prince of Persia help me up. So now when we go to verse 20 of chapter 10, let's go back to verse 20 of chapter 10. It now makes sense when he says, then said he, knowest wherefore I come unto you? Do you know where I came from? And now when I will return to go and fight whom? I'm going to go back to do what? Fight the prince of Persia. When I go to do that, when I'm gone, lo, the prince of Grecia shall come. Now, who's the prince of Greece? There you go. When I go to fight this guy,
Larry.
again, yes,
Larry.
sir. Yes.
Who was the prince of Greece?
In this case, is the literal sense of Alexander. So Gabriel is telling him, when I go back now to go fight the prince of Persia, then Greece shall come in.
Okay.
Okay, so when you look at it, so this is a literal sense. Now, remember, he spoke of the prince of Persia in verse 13 of Daniel chapter 10. Now, in verse 20 of Daniel chapter 10, he's now going back. He's now telling Daniel, do you know where I came from? In the beginning, I told you I came from. You know when I came here, I came down. In the midst of me coming from heaven, I was withheld by the prince of Persia. Now I'm going to go back to fight the prince of Persia. But when I go back and do that, then the prince of Grecia will come. Okay? You understand that? Everybody get that? Okay. Sounds like one of my meetings I've been holding. Everybody, you hear crickets. All right. So let's go to Daniel 11, verse 2.
And now will I show thee the truth. Behold, there shall stand up yet 3 kings in Persia, and the fourth shall be far richer than they all are. And by his strength through his riches he shall stir up against the realm of Grecia.
Okay. So last week we learned that there were 3 kings that came up in Persia. Darius the Great, Xerxes came after Darius the Great, and Xerxes, and there was another one, his name started with an S. Sardis was something, right?
Oh,
Yeah, so with an S. So with an S. So Alexander, so it was the Dowd, so actually there was one with the C, and then Sardis died, and then you had Darius the Great, and then you had Xerxes. Xerxes was the 4th one that excelled in riches, and he was the one that did what? He wanted to make war with whom? With Greece. Okay? All right? So I was trying to start to pull that up really quickly for the folks who are online. Let's see here. I don't know if I can. I don't know, how does that come off of mute? Let's see if I can open Pottery and all right. We 3 kings. Wait, no, no, we 3 kings and oh wait, there's a 4th.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We 3 kings and oh wait, there's a 4th. So last week, this is what we spoke about, the 3 kings and the 4th. So Daniel chapter 11, verse 1 and 2, the first 3 kings, which were followed Darius the Mede, can be identified as Cambyses the second. He was followed by Smerdis, right? So that's your second one, the usurper, right? That only reigned for 8 months and then he was killed. After the murder of Smerdis, Darius the Great, that's your third, right? And then the king that's designated as the 4th, who used his great riches to attack Greece, he was what? Xerxes. Okay? So that's where you can find Xerxes is referred to as Ahasuerus, as Ahaz or Ahasuerus in Esther 1, verse 1, or Esther 1, the whole chapter of Esther 1, the whole chapter of Esther 2. If y'all remember those online, if you remember the story of Esther, she was the one that he chose to marry. This was the same Xerxes that went after Greece. Okay? All right. So that is That is the story there for the three kings. All right, let's go to Joel chapter 3, verse 6.
See, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border.
All right, so let's do this. I'm going to read it in your hearing because Joel is a very serious prophetic book. Okay? I want to read in your hearing the backstory to that because that almost leaves a question mark. When you read verse 6, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto the Grecians, that you might remove them far from their border. Now, this is another reason why anytime God labels a head, there's a reason why, because it has something to do with his what? His people. So let's go back up to verse 1 of Joel chapter 3. I'm going to go through the story here historically to see what happened. Okay? All right. So, 4, behold, in those days, in that time when I shall bring again the captivity of whom? Judah and Jerusalem, bring again. That means they were captives before. So now God is saying, I'm going to do it again. I will also gather all the nations and will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Okay? And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for a wine, that they might do what? Drink. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre, and Zidon, and all the coast of Philistia? Will you render me recompense? And if you recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head. Because you have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly, pleasant things. This is God talking now. Okay? Right? My goodly, pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. Verse 7 says, behold, I will raise them out of the place whither you have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabaeans and the people far off, for the Lord hath spoken it. So you can see that Greece had a special part here to do with God's children, or God's people, God's chosen people. So now you're starting to see how Greece is playing not just a prophetic role of Daniel as some leopard with spots or brass, but the Bible has spoken about Greece way back in the beginning. Anybody understand that online? The Bible has spoken about Greece from way back, starting with the time the flood had ended. God has been watching Javan and his people. Okay? All right. Zechariah chapter 9, verse 13. Zechariah 9, verse 13. Welcome back, Jerome.
It says, when I have bent Judah for me, fill the bow of Ephraim, and raise up thy son, O Zion, against thy son, O Greece, and made thee as sword of a mighty man.
All right. So, again, this you have to go back to understand what God was talking about bending Judah and filling the bow of Ephraim and raising up the sons. O Zion, who's Zion? When God says Zion, when you talk about Zion, what does Zion mean? Who's Zion? Anybody know? Anybody online know who Zion is? Who Zion is?
The city of God.
And who's that? What's that?
Jerusalem.
Jerusalem. So Zion is Jerusalem. Okay? So anytime you hear the Bible talks about Zion, or Christ talks about Zion, or the prophets about Zion, it's Jerusalem they're speaking about. Alright? So let's go back to verse 10 of Zechariah 9. And now we're going to go now and see what God was talking about. That's why you have to read here a little, there a little. Okay? And I will cut off the chariot from Ephraim, and the horse from Jerusalem, and the battle bow shall be cut off. And he shall speak peace unto the heathen. And his dominion shall be from sea even to sea, and from the river even to the ends of the earth. So what God is saying now, I'm going to stop all this war. I'm going to stop what's going on, this battle, this fighting, what's going on. There will be peace between Jerusalem and everyone else surrounding you. And for thee also, by thy blood of the covenant, have I sent forth thy prisoners out of the pit, wherein there is no water. Turn you to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. Even today do I declare I render double unto thee. When I have bent Judah from me, filled the bow with Ephraim, and raised up thy sons, O Jerusalem, or O Zion, against thy son, O Greece, and made thee as the sword of a mighty man. And the Lord shall be seen over them, and his arrow shall go forth as the lightning, and the Lord shall blow the trumpet, and shall go with the whirlwinds of the south. So understand this. At this point, from Joel to Zechariah, Greece had what? Had Jerusalem. How do we know that? Well, let's take a look at this slide. This slide is called a goat with wings. Okay? How do we know that Greece had Jerusalem? Well, Alexander with agility, Alexander with the agility of a goat, crossed the Hellespont to revenge the humiliation inflicted upon Greece by Xerxes. Okay? Now that's the reason why they call the Hellenistic country, is because they crossed an area called Hellespont. And Hellespont is a causeway. You know what a causeway is, right? It's a causeway between what today is now called European Turkey and Asian Turkey. So there's two sides of Turkey. There's the European side of Turkey and the Asian side of Turkey. Between that is called the Hellespont. Okay? No, it's just Turkey today. There's European Turkey and there's Asian Turkey. So he slaughtered greatly the superior Persian force and brought them back to Persia. City after city yielded without a fight, okay, except for Tyre and Gaza, where they had to have a siege. Alexander conquered the entire country of Egypt. He conquered the entire country of Egypt without a fight. That is crazy. Okay? His armies reached India, but his troops, weary with battle, refused to go any further. Alexander died a victim of his prolific eating, and drinking, coupled with an attack of malaria. So let's go back now in time. So you have Babylon took Jerusalem, right? Medes and Persia had Israel, had Jews, and they had Jews, right? The Jews were in Medes and Persia. The Medes and Persia gave back the Jews. They sent the Jews back home to their country. Go build your what? The temple, and all is well, right? But now, when Greece comes into the picture, when Greece comes into the picture, Greece takes over what? The Medes and the Persians. And they take over the whole Mediterranean area. through that Mediterranean area is what? Jerusalem, Gaza, all those areas are all there. Okay? So now they have Jerusalem, they have Egypt, they have all the areas that was taken by whom? The Medes and the Persians. So God is talking directly to Greece when he says, oh Greece, I'm going to release my people from you. I'm going to come to them. I'm going to be their who? Their Savior. So God talks to Greece. That's the reason why, again, Greece is seen and depicted in prophecy as one of the 7 heads of the dragon, because they were also one of the 4 beasts that Daniel had seen. And they're also one of the 4 beast conglomerate that John the Revelator himself had seen. Okay? All right. Go with wings. A leopard-like beast. The leopard is one of the swiftest beasts or swiftest animals, right? The leopard characterizes the lightning like attack of Alexander's arms. So when Alexander became king, he became king in his early 20s, and by 30, he had conquered the whole entire world, then known world. Okay? He did it with swiftness. When you take major kingdoms like Egypt, Medes and Persia, you take in, all of Macedonia, you pretty much have what they call the then known world. You pretty much have the entire world. That's what's called the then known world. Some of the 8th chapter of Daniel is devoted to portraying the rise and fall of the empire. And Alexander was depicted in the destruction of the ram with the 2 horns by the goat with the important horn between its eyes. So the leopard-like beast. Now remember the first 2 bullets of the leopard-like beast. The leopard is one of the swiftest beasts or swiftest animals, and it characterizes the lightning-like attack of Alexander's army. So when John saw in Revelation chapter 13, when he says that the beast that came out of water had a what? Was a body of a what? A leopard, the mouth of a what? Lion, right? And the feet of a what? Bear, and it had wings, the same 4 wings. He saw what? How many kingdoms he saw? All 4 of those kingdoms, right? Actually, he saw all 3 of those kingdoms in one. And in one, the conglomerate of those 3 kingdoms made one kingdom. So basically now, what John is seeing is that leopard, the body of the leopard is what he saw. The body, which makes up the main portion of that beast. Because the head, the mouth is the mouth of a lion, the feet of a bear, but the body is the body of a leopard. And that's what makes up the most of the beast. So the beast is really what? Swift. It's fast. It's cunning. Okay? Another thing about leopards, or any of these big cats, when you look at the big cat kingdom, when you look at these lions and cheetahs and pumas and tigers and whatnot, when they hunt, they sit and watch. They are very patient animals. They will watch everyone, and they don't sit in that open area. They sit in the area where they what? Camouflage, right? And leopards, unlike lions, climb trees. So they sit high and they look low, and they can see to a far distance. Okay? But when they're on the attack, what do they go after? The young. The young. Taisha and I were watching, one of those videos where you have a lot of wildebeests, right? And they're all there. It's a pack of wildebeest. You have like probably hundreds of wildebeest and one lion or one of the big cats. Well, those are the wolves. We say, but those the cats are the same way. There be 1 or 2 lions. Lions, they go in packs. The female lions attack in packs. But leopards don't. Leopards are by themselves. That's what makes them special. That's why it's special, because now leopards go after the what? The young. They see the young with the mom, and when they're all running, when they see the leopards coming, guess what they do? They all what? Run. Then they start scattering. And all of a sudden, little baby wildebeest cannot keep up with mommy beast. So mommy's going this way, and the little baby's trying to keep up, but the leopard is right on his tail, and he swerves another way. And guess where the leopard goes? Not after the big meat. He goes after the what? The child. He goes after the young one. And that's exactly what the leopard is all about. So now, let's bring it back to our time. The leopard-like beast now, in our time, is considered whom? Rome. Very good. Rome has been around for how many centuries? A lot. 1788, another country became an empire. When I say an empire, I'm talking about signing into law that they are now a free, independent country. That was in 1776? 1776 became our independence, but it wasn't signed until 1788, right? American history. 1776, America became independent, but in 1778, it became a nation, okay? And now you have this nation that's coming up. So if Rome is the leopard, how old is America?
Young.
It's young. America is young. And if Rome is the leopard and America is young, who is Rome after?
The young.
Because it's not going after the old worlds anymore. It's not going after Mexico. It's not going to go after South America. It's not going to go after any of the European countries or nations. Right? It ain't going to go after Australia. These are all old nations. America is the youngest nation we have today. The only young nation we have today. They're coming after America. Okay? So this is why John saw the leopard. This is why the leopard is so special. Because the leopard is cunning, it is swift, it's fast, and it will come after you in an instant. Let's see some more about the leopard. Does everybody understand online about the leopard? Any questions?
I'm just gonna say like,
Say it again, Jerome.
Yes, I understand about the leopard.
Okay. Renee, do you understand about the leopard?
Yes.
All right. Hey, Leora, how you doing? Leora's on mute. All right.
Okay, so it's Jerome.
Go ahead, Jerome.
I guess the blend of the leopard, when you're explaining it from the leopard being Greece. I mean, what you're saying is because where Greece is located, I guess in the European area, are you I guess paralleling their kingdom with the Roman kingdom, and I guess saying that because they're in their area, they're coming after, or they're I guess trying to hunt down the United States or whatnot. I guess because I get what you're saying, but I guess from knowing about prophecy or whatnot, I didn't think Greece was, I guess, a major player in the end times like Rome is, or whatnot. So I guess I didn't get the correlation between the leopard, Rome, and is sweeping up the United States. Now, I mean, I understand if you were saying like Rome, like consuming United States, I understand that because I know United States being the second beast and whatnot. But
right.
Well,
let me
explain how Greece came into play.
All right, let me explain. You can hear me, right? Let me explain to you real quick, okay?
Okay.
So if you go to Revelation chapter 13, let's all go to Revelation chapter 13 real quick. And verse 1 and verse 2. Okay? And I'm reading it here. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a what? A leopard, and his feet were the feet of a what? Bear, and his mouth was the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him power and his seat and great authority. Now, to understand verse 2 of 13, we have to go back now to Daniel chapter 7. Right? Let's go to Daniel chapter 7 really quickly. And let's go to verse 3. And I'm going to read in your hearing. Okay? Verse 3 says, and there were 4 great beasts that came up out of the sea, diverse from one another. The first was like a lion, and had eagle's wings, and I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked. And it was lifted up from the earth, and made to stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. Verse 5, behold, another beast, second, like to a bear, and it raised itself up on one side, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth, and between the teeth of it, and they said unto it, arise, devour much flesh. After this I beheld, and lo, like another, a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast also had 4 heads, and dominion was given unto it. Now, these 3 beasts are separate in Daniel chapter 7. They're separate beasts. In verse 5 and verse 4, that beast is Nebuchadnezzar's kingdom, which is Babylon. Verse 5 is the Medes and the Persians. Verse 6 is Greece. But when you go to Revelation chapter 13, which we shall skip to real quick again, and read verse 2, these beasts now are all a conglomerate of one. They're all together. So the one beast that John sees was a leopard. It had the body of a leopard. It had feet of a bear, and his mouth was the mouth of a lion. So what that means is that Rome took on all 3 of those beasts and became one world power.
Gotcha. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, refresher. Right. Yeah, it clicked now. It makes sense. Okay, go ahead, proceed, Mom. Go ahead, proceed. You on it.
So that's just the reason why I'm saying the leopard, though. That's the reason why I'm using the leopard, because remember, it's the body of the leopard. The leopard takes the of it.
Correct. Right. Rome takes it's in form of all the other beasts in one. Right. You own it. I got you. Right. I'm eating now. Let's go.
Good job, bro. Good job, Jerome. Okay. So now that we have an understanding of why this leopard is so important, because now it also has 4 wings. Okay. And those 4 wings, and it also has 4 heads. When I went to Greece last year, and what opened my eyes about Greece was the fact that when we was in Athens, and we were in the city of Athens, right? Which is Athens, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But the Temple of Athena, sorry, that's what I meant. The Temple of Athena. We were up there, and my wife and I climbed these steps, and I looked north, south, east, and west, and they had what? 4 pillars. 4 pillars, each with a tassel. right? 4 pillars, each with a castle. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, each one is a head. Each one depicts a head of Greece, which I was like, what blew my mind, how when you're there, in the mix of it, it is real. It's not like you just reading the Bible and go, it had 4 heads. No, you actually see the 4 heads of Greece. Too bad not now one of us has any more power in our phones to take a picture of this event. It click, bam, goodbye. Our battery went dead. So what, all I have is the vision of it in my mind. That's why I have some photos on the show at the end of this. But so the fall of Greece. Alexander died in a drunken state, in a drunken feast, and his conquests were peaceably.
He died in peace too?
Yes, when he died. He died without having a party. Yes, just like Belshazzar,
Yeah.
who died in a feast.
Yeah.
Yeah, he also died in a feast. He died while he was on his, they were having a party. And he was on his deathbed. And it was during that time when he called in his 4 generals. Watch this. There were people, the story goes, there were people who had issues with Alexander doing what he was doing. They did not want to give to the 4 generals. They wanted him to die and another king take over. Okay? But what Alexander did, which the peaceably divided between his 4 generals, and it wasn't as peaceably as they said it was. Okay? Let's go to Daniel chapter 8, verse 8 and verse 22. Let's see what it says there about Alexander and the split of Greece. Daniel chapter 8, verse 8 and verse 22.
Therefore the eagle went very great, and when he was strong, the great horn was broken, and for it came up 4 noble ones, who were the 4 winds of heaven.
Let's go to 22.
Now that being broken, whereas 4 stood up for it, 4 kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his house.
All right. Okay, so let's go back up to verse 8 and let's talk about this really quickly here. Let's go to verse 1 of Daniel chapter 8 because we need to understand this vision that Daniel saw about Greece. In the 3rd year, the reign of King Belshazzar, a vision appeared unto me, even unto me then, after that which appeared unto me at the first. And I saw in the vision, and it came to pass, when I saw that, I was in Shushan, in the palace, which is in the province of Elam. And I saw in the vision, and I was by the river of Ulai. And I lifted my eyes, and I saw, and behold, there stood before me at the river a ram, which had how many horns? 2 horns. And the 2 horns were high, but one was higher than the other. And the higher one came up what? Last. So that was who? Medes is what? The lower one, and the higher one is who? Persia, because Medes was already there. Persia came up after it and took over Persia, took over Medes, and the Medes and the Persians now have two kingdom power, right? Okay. I saw a ram pushing where? Westward, northward, and southward, so that no beast might stand before him, or no other nations might stand before him. Neither was there any that can deliver out of his hands. But he did according to his will and became great. So he only pushed where? 4 within the what? 3 winds, right? North, south, and where? West. He never went east. And I was considering, behold, and he-goat came from the west, on the face, or he came towards the west. Okay? This he-goat came towards the west. So if he's going to the west, where is he coming from? The east. Okay? So this guy is coming toward the west, or from the west, on the face of the holder, and he touched not the ground. And the goat had a noble horn between his what? his eyes. And he came to the ram which had the 2 horns, which I had seen standing before the river, and ran into him in his fury of his power. And I saw him come close unto the ram, and he was moved with choler against him, and smote the ram, and brake his 2 horns. The word choler is another word for it. It's called revenge or vengeance. Okay? He had a problem with this ram. So he came with that. But he cast him down to the ground and stamped on him, and there was none that could deliver the ram out of his hands. Therefore the he-goat waxed very great. And when he was strong, the great horn was what? Broken. Who was the great horn? Who represents that great horn? Who?
Greece.
Yeah, no. We understand Greece is the ram, but who represents the great horn?
Oh, Pharaoh.
No.
Babylon.
No, the horn in the ram. The horn in the middle horn in the ram. The horn in the he-goat. The one horn. Who represents the one horn? The one horn. It's a horn. The horn represents a king. The horn represents a king.
Yeah.
The horn on the he-goat. The horn on the he-goat.
Who's around?
There was a shopping center named after him. In the Bronx on Fordham Road. Oh my gosh. There was a shopping center named after him. Alexander.
Yeah, it's Greece. Yeah.
Alexander the Great. So Greece is the GOAT. But remember, Larry, there's a reason why the horn is not just Greece.
I got you.
You just can't say the horn is Greece because later on the horn breaks and becomes 4 notable horns.
Yeah.
So
But, I mean,
the horn,
I got
the
you.
horn in and of itself is a king, right?
Yeah, it's Greece, but I mean, when you just said, I just heard the goat. I didn't hear the horn.
The horn, the notable horn, not the little horn. The little horn is different. The notable horn is Alexander the Great. Okay.
Yeah.
So. The notable horn is Alexander the Great. So listen. And when he was strong, this is Alexander the Great. When he was strong, the great horn, which is Alexander the Great, was broken, for it became 4 notable ones toward the 4 winds of heaven. Okay. All right. Now let's go to the same verse, the same book, and we're going to go to 22. Now he gets now Gabriel in verse 19 is going to explain to Daniel what he saw. Okay? So Gabriel said, "Behold, I will make thee know what shall be in the last end of indignation. For at the time appointed the end shall be. The ram which you saw, having 2 horns, are the kings of Media and who? Persia." So we know the ram, the 2 horns, represents what? Kings. That's the king of Media and the king of whom? Persia. The rough goat is the king of Grecia. The great horn between his eyes is whom? The first what? King, which his name is Alexander the Great. You see how it works out now? All right, the Bible explains itself. Man,
It repeats and expands.
you said what, Larry?
It repeats and expands.
That's right. That's right. So verse 22 says, "Now that being broken, whereas 4 stood up for it, 4 kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his power," not in Alexander's power. Because he's dead.
Generals.
Right, because Alexander is dead.
Right.
So it's not going to be in his power, it's going to be in his womb, in his general's power. So this is why it's been divided. It was divided. The Grecian Empire was divided, headed up by the 4 generals of Alexander. Ptolemy was given Egypt and the adjacent territories. Seleucus was given Syria, Asia Minor, and the East. Lysimachus took control of Thrace and the adjoining territories. Cassander ruled over Macedonia and Greece itself. Eventually, Macedonia and Thrace were then joined, resulting in the emergence of the 3 strong kingdoms, Macedonia, Syria, and Egypt. Wait a minute now. This is going to come back to play. So remember those 3 areas, Macedonia, Syria, and Egypt. Macedonia today, well, I wouldn't say Macedonia today. Macedonia was then ruled by the Romans, right? Afterwards, right? Egypt was also ruled by the Romans afterwards, right? Syria was also ruled by the Romans afterwards, right? So remember those 3. Because political rule, therefore, was divided until the Roman Empire arose to provide a new unifying political factor. So when Rome comes into play,
Jermaine, mute your line, Jermaine.
Hello?
Sorry, Larry. Mute your line, Jermaine.
All right, so here we go. So political rule was therefore divided until the Roman Empire arose to provide a unifying political factor. Basically, what that is saying is that these 3 kingdoms thrived, and until they started phasing out, Rome comes in. But today, there is big issues in those 3 areas. And Rome is playing a big part in those 3 areas. All right.
Jermaine.
Hey, somebody need to pick the line.
Let me get off of
Jermaine.
here. I don't know how to do this, man.
Hold on, Jermaine.
Hit on your icon and hit the mute button.
Yeah, click on the screen and then hit your mute button. Hey, Larry,
Yes, sir.
whoever is reading, it's loud. When they read, we can't really hear.
That's why I reread it.
What's that?
I know it's going to be hard for y'all to hear, so I'm going to reread it for you. Okay? All right. So this is the fall of now. I'm going to attempt to play a video for y'all. I'm not too sure if this video might work. All right, so check this out.
Larry trying to get his Walter Vife on.
We can't hear it, Larry.
You can't hear it?
No, but are you in Rome? Look, are you in Rome?
I'm in Greece.
You're in Greece, okay.
Yeah, I'm in Greece, and
I guess just describe what you're
Yeah, I am. I will.
what you're talking about. Okay.
I will. So I'm in Greece at this point, and I was right next to the Pantheon, and I'm also next to the amphitheater. I was kind of behind the amphitheater, and it's amazing And when you're there, oh snap, this was right side up. It's amazing when you're there how, I mean, how amazing this place looks. I mean, Jerome, we were walking on marble the whole time. The whole thing is made of marble. I've never been to a place that is just all marble. Okay? I'm going to show you another one. You might not hear it, but that's okay. I'm going
When
to
you
show you
say
another one.
when you say you was walking on marble, you talking about the streets where marble were made of marble,
Everything.
the marble
Buildings,
stone?
everything, yes.
Wow.
Marble. We were slipping and sliding because I guess when heat hits marble, it's not the easiest thing to walk on. So it's like it's wet. Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. This here,
I'm sorry, Larry, but can someone mute? I think who's Unica or something? I don't know. Somebody's on. You and some coffee. Sorry, I can barely hear you, Larry.
hold on one second. Let me see if I can mute.
Okay.
Oh, you're talking about okay. I got him. He's muted.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna attempt to go backwards. I don't know if I can. All right. I mean, who climbs up this mountain just to come and talk to the other Aristotle's people? It's a theme is pretty good. They built this science. We call it good. I'm gonna tell you something. God's good. The wisdom of that, I mean, the amount of history that's back here. It's amazing. I'm learning a lot. I can't wait till I get home and talk back to you. Woo. Yeah, get you there. All right, so basically, my what it says final thoughts there. I was just talking about how the Acropolis. I said right. I sounded. Okay, wow, I said it correctly. All right, the Acropolis. That's where the Temple of Athena is. That's where the amphitheater is. That's where the Pantheon is. That's where you can see the four heads of Greece, where the four kingdoms or the four castles are all on these four pillars. You see so much there, and I want to share some pictures with you guys because from what we were able to see, I mean, it was history in our eyes. And where I was standing, this is where Paul preached to the people. This is where Titus and who else? Who are the other apostles that went up there to Greece and all other places? There's so many that when you see it, it's like, man, they were literally sitting on top of a mountain, and this place is pretty hot. It took a while for us to walk up there. It was very hot, and it was an exercise. So I'm going to attempt to show some pictures. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can get there. And please, come up, please. For some reason.
So you seen a lot of the pagan. Oh, go ahead. Never mind.
All right, can y'all see this?
Yes.
All right, so basically, if you look at the that's my wife and my sister-in-law standing there. Of course, they continue to renovate this place, but what they're walking on, Jerome, is all marble. This is all marble here. It looks like stone, but it's literally marble. All of it, marble. I'm going to attempt to show another one really quickly before I let you guys go. I think Show this one.
Yeah, so this.
Okay, here is the what they call the amphitheater.
Amphitheater.
Yes. This is as real as it looks. I think the brown area is probably renovated, but most of it is the same. Everything is kind of kept intact. All what you're looking at is marble. I don't understand how these guys sat down in the hot sun in marble. That mug was hot. It was hot. And it's all marble. But I'm going to tell you something. It was beautiful. It was very beautiful, very pretty. And it's a sight to see. If it wasn't the Sabbath, I'll tell you something else. But I want to show you this here is where we are, so you can see that we are not sitting low. We are very high. That is the view over the amphitheater and out. So this amphitheater was built inside the mountain itself. Okay? The amphitheater was built inside the mountain. So, you know, just to be there, just to sit there and to take in a lot of the sights was an amazing thing for me. I kind of had some good reflection as to what happened there. I mean, it was very good. I would recommend anyone and everyone, if you have some time and some money, to take a trip to Greece. Yeah, that's another nice one there. It's a life changer. But I want to thank everyone for joining in tonight on our Bible study. I want to thank our newcomers, those who were able to show. Jerome, thanks for coming. Leora, thank you for coming. Renee, I want to thank you for coming.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks for the invite, man.
Yeah, man. Larry, thanks for coming, man. I know, you know, it's been a little while, but, you know.
Don't forget Jermaine, too, man.
Who?
Jermaine.
Jermaine? Oh, that's Jermaine that's on there?
Jerome's brother.
Okay, with the dreads, right?
Yeah.
Okay, hey, Jermaine, how you doing, man?
That's what you call them. I think they dread.
Oh, that twist or dreads? I can't tell. I can't tell.
They fans, man. They fake dreads. They fake.
Fake dreads. They. He said they're friends.
They threads.
They're threads. My wife wears those. But I want to thank you guys for coming. This is us right here.
Hey, Larry.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I think it's Rhea online and not Leora.
Oh, it's Rhea?
I think so.
Well, it says Leora there, so I can't tell.
I know, it's Leora. She's using Leora's account.
Oh, okay, cool. Hey, Rhea. Oh, I can't see her. She's not on video. Hey, Jermaine, if you're talking, you're on mute, so I can't hear what you're saying.
He's new to cell phones.
If you're talking, you're on mute.
He's used to Twitter.
Oh, okay. And I want to also thank Sharita and Andrew. We can now see you guys right side up. Everybody clap your hands.
Awesome.
Hey, am I in the building now? Am I in the building?
Hey, Jermaine, you in the building now, brother?
What's up, man? Hey, my locks are real. Shout Rome and Larry, don't start, man. Hey, I appreciate the invite, man. The whole time I've been on here, I've been trying to work on this mute button. So, man, I'm family on, man. Thanks for. I was hearing this stuff, man. I'm in the building, but I'm gonna get it together.
That's all right, man. Listen, you know, we're here every Friday. Every Friday we do this. It's been a blessing for all of us. It's a learning experience, I tell you that right now. And you know, God has moved. He's been moving along with providing us with wisdom, so that we have a better understanding of how, you know, what the Bible how to read the Bible and how to depict what the Bible is talking about. The Bible is not a hard book to read. Very simple. Once you start allowing the Spirit to use you, God's Spirit to use you, and to provide you in all truth. So again, I want to thank everybody for coming. We're early in dismissal tonight, so we're going to go ahead and dismiss. But next week we're going to be off. Next week we have an off night. Next week, the following week we're going to be talking about Rome. Okay, which is the 6th head of the seven-headed dragon.
The 7th head is that Turkey?
No. So we're going to be talking about the 6th head of the dragon. Remember, Revelation 17 talks about 7 heads, and then there was a what? An 8th. Okay. So I want you guys to read Revelation 17. Read the whole chapter. Let's get back to it, not next week, but the week after. Let's get back right to it and talk about the 6th head, which is Rome. It's the iron, which is called pagan Rome. We're going to get right into that, and we're going to be talking about that part in biblical history, biblical prophecy, how that all kind of comes together as to where we are today and why today things are going on and what we need to look for today. All right? So we're going to bow our heads and close our eyes. John's head's already bowed and closed, so let's bow our heads and close our eyes for prayer. Father God, I want to thank you so much for everyone who has joined in. Lord, I want to thank you so much for all those who are here with us tonight at the house. Thank you so much for those who may not have been able to make it, but Lord, you've been good. And we thank you so much for what you've done for us through this past week. It may have been hard for some, it may not have been hard for others, but Lord, you have given us life and strength, health and wellness to be able to be here tonight on your holy Sabbath evening, to join with you and to ask you, Lord, to continue to give us wisdom and understanding. Lord, we ask for your forgiveness again, that you continue to create us a clean heart, that we'll be able to stand righteous in front of the Father, and He be able to see us as clean and ready for us to be transfigured when He comes. Lord, we just ask for those who are online to continue to join us as we go forward with these meetings every Friday night. We ask for those who are here to continue to bless them, bless each and every one of us in our homes. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Again, thank you guys. We're going to log off. We're going to start the broadcast, and we will see you guys not next week, the 13th, but we'll see you on the 20th of May. Thank you guys. Good night.
Good night. All right.
Good night.
Night.